Welcome to the exciting universe of music theory. Are you ready to learn? Then let's begin. Today we will talk about scale 275, Dalic, which sounds like this. This scale has 4 tones, which means it is called a tetratonic scale. Here are the common triads present in this scale. The diagram in the center is a graph showing possibilities for parsimonious voice leading between the triads. There are no major triads. There is one minor triad. There is one augmented triad. There are no diminished triads. Here is a Hamiltonian path of parsimonious voice leading that uses all the triads. This scale has 4 modes. The first mode is itself. The second mode is scale 2185, also known as Dalic. It sounds like this. The third mode is scale 785, also known as Dalic. It sounds like this. The fourth and last mode is scale 305, also known as Dalic. It sounds like this. The pitch class set for this scale is 0, 1, 4, 8. The forte class is 419. This set is prime. Imperfections are tones that have no tone or perfect fifth interval above them. This scale has 3 imperfections. They are at positions here, here, and here. Hemitones are instances where 2 tones in the scale are a semitone apart. This scale has 1 hemitone here. Cohemitones are instances where 2 hemitones are beside each other. This scale has no cohemitones. The distribution spectra describes the size of each of the scale steps, which in turn describes how evenly spaced the tones are. A generic interval is how many scale steps are between one tone and another. A specific interval is how many semitones apart they are. The generic interval of one scale step comes in 3 different specific interval sizes: 1 semitone, 3 semitones, and 4 semitones. The spectrum width of this generic interval is the highest, 4, minus the lowest, 1, which equals 3. The generic interval of 2 scale steps comes in 4 different specific interval sizes: 4 semitones, 5 semitones, 7 semitones, and 8 semitones. The spectrum width of this generic interval is 4. The generic interval of 3 scale steps comes in 3 different specific interval sizes: 8 semitones, 9 semitones, and 11 semitones. The spectrum width of this generic interval is 3. The spectrum variation is the sum of all the widths, divided by the number of tones. The spectrum variation of this scale is 2.5. Since the variation is greater than 0, this indicates that the scale is not perfectly even. The highest spectrum width is 4. Since this is greater than 1, we know that this scale is not maximally even. If every spectrum has exactly 2 specific intervals, we call that the Myhill property. This scale does not have the Myhill property. Since the generic interval ranges do not overlap, this scale is proper, but it is not strictly proper because some specific intervals appear in more than one spectrum. The interval vector of a scale is a description of what intervals exist between its tones. There is one interval with a size of 1 semitone. It is here. There are no intervals with a size of 2 semitones. There is one interval with a size of 3 semitones. It is here. There are 3 intervals with a size of 4 semitones. They are here, here, and here. There is one interval with a size of 5 semitones. It is here. There are no intervals with a size of 6 semitones. Each interval does not appear in this scale a unique number of times, so this is not a deep scale. This scale has no reflective symmetry. This scale has a different pattern of intervals ascending and descending, so it is not palindromic. This scale has no ridge tones. The balance of a scale depends whether the tones are spaced equally enough for the center of gravity to be in the center of the scale. This scale is not balanced. The inverse of a scale is a mirror image. It is what you get when the sequence of intervals is reversed. The inverse of this scale is scale 2321, Zyphic. This scale is chiral. It cannot transform into its inverse by rotational transformation. This scale has no rotational symmetry. For even more detail about this scale, visit ianring.com/musictheory/scales/275. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, share it, and subscribe to this channel.